Hello everyone and welcome back for another video. It's been about 2 weeks since my first mod review on FS25, the first mods that we had hit modhub, and since then we've had another nice flurry of some mods coming in. So this is a chance to review those, and you'll see that I've got the harvester going because we've got a couple of balers to review later on. But let's get into it. Now, the first mod that we have to review is not this Landini, but it is the unlimited color configuration for PC and console, which you will see in the store menu or in the workshop mode when you can configure tractors and equipment. And it works by providing the color selector additional menus where you can utilize the existing colors that are available. And we can see some of the JCB yellow, Challenger yellow and John Deere greens that we are used to. But in the custom section, you are able to select whichever color you fancy. There is a hue selector here, and then a custom picker where you can change the color even more so. And what is nice is there is a RGB code selector where you can adjust whichever code you want to select a specific color, and then you can also change the material from glossy to metallic to matte to suit whichever you want. So that is a quite nice addition. And you also have the ability to add this to favorites, so it then appears in the favorites section. So let's type brown, because it is a rather murky brown color that we have selected here, and it then appears under favorites. So we have selected that colour and it has changed our Landini to that. But that is a very nice mod to be able to select custom colours if you've got specific colour codes and liveries that you like to have your machines and equipment using. Now, what this mod does not give you the ability to do is to start configuring colours for equipment where you cannot change the colour. So this New Holland, unfortunately, you cannot change the colour. And the unlimited color configurations mod does not allow you to change the color on equipment that you couldn't change the color of before. Now, the next mod on our list is the Sleep at Will mod, which is PC only, and pressing Shift Z, which is the key, brings up the Sleep at Will menu. And this has changed quite a bit since FS22. We have a slider here where we can select the time that we want to sleep until, or the time that we want to wake up. It tells us the current time as well, which is quite handy. And there seems to be much more of a range of when we can wake up, all the way from midnight 0000 all the way to 23:30. We want to wake up nice and early, so we'll select 8 o'clock and sleep. There we go, we have a rose the next morning, but unfortunately our wheat crop has withered, so the harvester has stopped, but never mind. Now, the next mod at our disposal is the Power Tools, and that is a PC only mod which we can activate using F12, and we have the Power Tools menu pop up. We have the ability to spawn objects or materials, toggle super strength, flight mode, toggle super speed, toggle the HUD on and off for display purposes. We can add or remove money, and we can save game, exit to menu, or restart the save game, and back to the start. But let's just take a little bit of a demo. We can click OK here, takes us on to another menu where we can select between pallet, wood, or various types of bale. I think what we'll do is choose bale of hay, and then we can choose between round and the various different sizes. We'll go with this round bale size, and there we go. We have spawned a bale, which is super handy because we can check out one of the other elements on here, which is toggling super strength. So we can click OK, and if we go into first person mode, we then have the hand appear, which we can then use to pick up and move the bale, and we'll move it to our bale storage site, which is really handy. We'll drop it off here. There we go. It's placed in nicely. And the good thing is that you can utilize this with the lumberjack mod activated as well. So you can see the hand appear for picking up the manatile, but if I double tap Alt, it will turn off again. So the lumberjack mod and the Power Tools mod work hand in hand. If you are in a vehicle, the first option is the fill vehicle, where you have the option to empty it of diesel, and you can also fill it back up with diesel as well. And if you attach the trailer, you can fill this up with whatever you want. I think we had seed in there already, but if we select wheat, I'm hoping it will fill it up with wheat. There you go, 8,000 litres of wheat. And the next power tool is the flight mode, and if we activate, we'll see the message up above, and we can activate flight mode by pressing key J, so it is then active, and we can use Q and then E to ascend and descend, and the usual WASD to move around, and pressing shift will enable us to go really fast in various directions. So that is flight mode, and good thing about it is it will allow you to capture various scenic shots of your farm overhead. Press J again to deactivate it and you will land back safely. Right, flight mode now disabled, so we will toggle the super speed, and that is now on, which means we will be able to run very fast if we press shift. So walking is normal speed. Oh, nearly hit a car there. But if we turn around and press shift, we can sprint back at a very super speed, which is handy for getting around in a hurry. Now I've stepped into the tractor to show the HUD toggling. So if we go to option 5 and click OK, we'll see that the top right and bottom right menus for the speedometer and so forth have disappeared, but it's as simple as going back to option number 5 on Power Tools to reactivate it. There we go. The next option of Power Tools is add or remove money, and if we click OK, we can then input a number to add an amount. We can input a number with a minus in front to subtract an amount, and then we can use the equals and an amount to set the account. So yes, let's try that. We'll try and add 5,000. There we go. That has added 5,000. We will do the same again to remove the 5,000 with a minus 5,000. There we go. That has removed it again, and then we will deduct a little bit of money and take ourselves down to 800,000 and use the equals 800,000, and there we go. Our bank balance has been set to 800,000. So that is very handy for controlling your money manually for use in role plays and other types of gameplay. The next options are self-explanatory. Number 7 will save the game, number 8 will exit you to the game menu, and number 9 will restart the save game from the last save point. Now that is the Power Tools mod for PC only, but if you have a console, do not fret, because the Liftable Pallets and Bales mod is there to help you as an equivalent to the Super Strength mod. Once installed, you will see other consumables in these categories where you can get IBCs, big bags and pallets, which are liftable pallets and bales. So effectively it changes the base game big bags, pallets and IBCs to only weigh 100 kilograms so they can be lifted. So let's buy one to demonstrate. So if we walk up to the big bag we have purchased, you can see that the hand icon has appeared and we can lift it up and move it around like we can any other lightweight object. And to prove that super strength is not on, I cannot lift this tractor. So yeah, that is a very handy mod for console players. But one thing to note is for things like balers, you will need to ensure that you buy the equivalent liftable pallet and bale baler, so that bales that are outputted are also weighing 100 kilograms only, so you can lift up the bales. Existing bales, pallets, big bags and IBCs that you've already purchased will not be liftable. You will have to buy the liftable pallet and bale option to make sure you can lift it up. And to demonstrate, I will rent this John Deere C44-1R, which is the liftable pallet and bale equivalent of the base game version. So what we'll do is very quickly pump out a bale to demonstrate. There we go, we've hit 100, so it's going to stop and unload. Right, I have unloaded one bale, and to note, it did not like the round baler extension mod, so I've had to deactivate that. But if we step out the tractor and approach the bale, we can see we have a hand icon, and again, super strength is not active because I cannot pick up the baler, but we can pick up this bale and we can move it into our bale storage. Now also, just to prove that these bales do need to come from a baler that has the liftable pallets and bales mod, I will go over to one of the bales in this field. These are some straw bales that we baled up before the mod was active, and I cannot pick them up because they are the original weight of 220 kilograms, which you can see in the bottom right. Now, the next mod is the Refillable IBC mod, and I have purchased one. It is part of the Lizard Goods variety, and I've also purchased a standard liquid fertilizer IBC to demonstrate. Now, to fill this up, we need to enter it like a vehicle by pressing E on PC, and we are in the tank, and we should be able to refill by pressing R like we normally do. And there we go, we are filling up from the IBC to the side of us. E again to exit the IBC, and we can see we have filled it up with 1400 litres, but this can be used to fill up from water tanks or taps, and it can also overflow into equipment to fill it up, such as fertilizer sprayers and all sorts of equipment that consumes liquids. And once emptied, you can fill it up again. And the next mod is one that we remember well from FS22, the Lizard Tardis, which comes with a forage wagon, a water tank, a dolly trailer, and a standard trailer. And if we take a little look, we can see that these give us the ability to use a realistic capacity, which is 26,000 litres for the forage wagon, but we can increase it to the unrealistic 260,000 litres. So if you're in a hurry and need to get jobs done, this is very reasonable, and I think every item costs a fair price even with the standard capacity. The water tank can take 7,000 litres standard, which is fair for a £10,000 price, but the XL capacity can take 200,000 litres of water, so you'll have no problem filling up all of your greenhouses. The dolly trailer can take 18,500 litres at normal and 200,000 litres at XL capacity. Likewise for the standard trailer, normal capacity 18,500 and XL 200,000. Now I am actually going to buy the dolly trailer and get it at the 200,000 litre capacity because we will need this to demo one of our next mods. So let's attach to the Lizard Tardis, and we can use the power tools to fill the vehicle with wheat, and we can see that we've got 200,000 litres there. That is pretty cool. But the next mod is the trailer axle blocker. So one frustration with using dolly trailers is that the dolly does twist and turn, and obviously it can be quite difficult to reverse, and unless you're a bit of a pro, it is rather difficult to get to the place you want it. But if we straighten the trailer back up, we can utilise the following axle blocker mod, which is activated by pressing the left square bracket key, and the axle has now locked. And even if we reverse and turn, we will see that the dolly does not twist, so we can reverse quite straightly. Pressing the left square bracket again releases, and there we go, the dolly will twist. So a very handy mod if you like to use dolly trailers linked up in a chain. Now the next mod on the list is the Enhanced Filltypes mod. It's PC only, and it affects auger wagons, or certain auger wagons, certain manure spreaders and certain fertilizer spreaders, by allowing the lime to be a fillable component. So the first two we can see here do not take lime, but this Demco can take lime as an additional material now. So auger wagons that are geared up for carrying grass, straw and other forage type materials, and augers that are geared up for carrying vegetables cannot carry lime, but augers with a pipe that typically carry grain can carry lime. Every manure spreader can now carry lime as an additional. But what is interesting is it does not seem to have impacted fertilizer spreaders that much, because the base game, as per standard, only the large Bredel K105 can carry lime. All the others can only carry fertilizer still. So this mod has changed slightly since FS22, and it looks like manure spreaders are the way to go to spread this if you want to. And just to demonstrate, we've hitched up to this manure spreader and we can fill it with lime. There we go. And if we approach the field, unfold and switch on, we can start spreading lime. So yeah, it's only to one side and the other, which is interesting. but it looks like the focus has shifted from fertilizer spreaders to manure spreaders for distributing lime using the enhanced Filltype mod. And the good thing is you can use the auger wagon to come and replenish as you're going. Now the next mod is an interesting one. It's PC only, and it is the Cruise Control Levels mod, which adds 3 different levels to your cruise control configurations. You'll see on the speedometer in the cruise control section there is a number 1, and it is set to 6 miles an hour. If we press Shift 4, it goes to configuration number 2, where we have 12 mile an hour set. And if we press that again, Shift and 4, we go to configuration number 3, which is set at the max. So if we activate the cruise control, we are able to go at that speed and use Control 4 to shift back down the speeds to 12 mile an hour, configuration 2, and Control 4 again to configuration number 1 at 6 mile an hour. So it adds 3 tiers to your cruise control speeds. That could be very handy for different speed configurations you use for different types of equipment that you use regularly. Now for the next mod, I need to pull right next to the fuel tank because I am going to need it, and I'm going to need power tools to empty my vehicle of diesel. And there you go, that has killed the engine. Because the next mod is the fuel level warning mod. It's PC only, and you'll see I have a flashing fuel indicator. If I start the engine, we should hear, there we go, the audible beep, which is our fuel warning telling us that we are running low. So that is quite handy to remind you to stock up on fuel. Now the next mod involves the construction menu, and it is the Move Placeable mod. For PC only, we can use it by selecting the placeable that we have already placed, and if we click on it, we have the ability now to move it, which adds all these lines to the screen, which are your different planes. And it's as easy as hovering over the plane where you want to move your placeable and clicking, holding and dragging to move it where you want to go. So it is using the planes to move where you want it to go, so it can be forwards, backwards, left and right, and then the upward plane can move it upwards or downwards. But you need to be careful to make sure you are going to move it to a successful place. Now right clicking on the same plane will allow you to twist, and that is a bit finicky, but it does work and allow you to twist appropriately. I think the further away you are on the line, the more aggressive the turning is, but there we go, we can pivot the mod accordingly, and probably the most useful one is this upward plane here, where we can rotate the greenhouse. So yeah, let's just rotate it for simplicity's sake to have the door facing this way, and we can confirm it. And there we go, that has moved the greenhouse for no charge, but as you can see I need to work on my moving skills because we have sunk it in the back. Looks a bit like the Titanic going down. But that will help you with moving placeables rather than having to sell and repurchase them at a loss. Now the next mod requires the construction menu as well, and in the sculpting section, this is the Terraform and Paint for free mod, which eliminates the cost of terraforming and painting. I would also strongly recommend it with the Terraform and Paint Anywhere mod, which means you can use it on land you do not own. But let's raise this section, and you'll see in raising it we are not spending or incurring any cost. We can even increase the area that we are doing and raising, and there we go, no money is going out of the bank account. So that is really handy if you want to focus on farm builds and landscaping. Oh my god, this just keeps growing and growing. There we go, I have managed to fix my workmanship with the leveling tool, but also for painting, as we can see, we can paint this section of ground and it is costing us nothing. Now the next mod I had to try out was this John Deere 110-112 round fender, and with it is the John Deere Deck 110. How cool is this? And the 110 is 8 horsepower and the 112 is 12 horsepower, and you can get a 3-point attacher and a pin hitch as well, so you can pull trailers and even get some 3-point attachers on the back as well, but only small ones, I imagine. Let's hop on and fire it up. There we go. Just drive over the deck so we can attach it. There we go. This is very funky, and I'm glad to see some of the smaller equipment are making it in the mods, because it's going to be good for starting out with less money and for those roleplay save games. Think I found my new daily. Cruised back to the farm, and we'll see if we can cut a little section of grass. Switch on lower away, and here we go. Oh, we are cutting up some grass. Wow, it's super speedy as well. This is going to be great for keeping the farm nice and tidy, and we can use real mower to chop away some of those weeds as well. And next, as part of the small tractors, it is the Massey-Ferguson 675. This is the 4-wheel drive edition, and it can go up to 90 horsepower. Let's take a little look inside and fire it up. Very nice. Got a very nice look and feel to it, and the drive is pretty good, as we would expect. And it's good to see some of these mods coming into the game for the smaller scale and cheaper equipment. This will set you back 26,500, but for a nice decent little tractor, I think that is pretty good going. Also, for the small tractor category, we have the FarmCon 24 Fendt pack, where we can get a 380 GTA Turbo, which is 95 horsepower, or we can get the Xylon 524, which is 147 horsepower, 57,500 and 37,500. So some quite well priced tractors there. But you might notice that the front looks a little bit different to standard tractors, and that is because with the combinations, we can either place a front loader onto it or a front tank, which will support a spraying boom that can be mounted on the rear. There we go, we've got one of each to show, and it looks like the smaller, which is the 380 GTA Turbo, is only compatible with the front loader attachment, and the larger Xylon 524 is only compatible with the sprayer tank and sprayer boom attachment. But these both look absolutely fantastic. A nice bit of detail and quality to these, and if we take a little look inside the cab, the classic Fendt as we know it. So that is really nice to see. Again, another fantastic addition to a small farm operation, or for use starting out and you're in need of some versatile equipment. And the next mod on our list is the Vicon FastBale. It is PC and console, and the reason I've selected this is because I recall it from FS22. It was a particularly speedy baler. Now this little Massey can't run it, but we'll take it back to the farm and test it out. This Vicon will set you back 110,000, and it requires 150 horsepower, and it cannot go up to the highest size round bale, which is 180 centimeters. It can only do up to 125 centimeters. Switch to the Challenger, and one of the advantages of this baler is you will see that it has filled up a bale, it's unloading, but it has not stopped. We are able to keep baling even though it is shifting one bale to the escape chute, and it is refilling another bale in a different compartment. So this bale is truly a fast baler because it can manage multiple bales at a time, and unlike other round balers, it does not need to stop. Just finishing up with the last bale to unload there, and we can switch off. My goodness, the fields and yard are looking like absolute chaos after trying all of these mods, but it has been necessary to see what interesting mods have caught my eye over the last fortnight or so. It is impossible for me to review every single mod that does come out, but if you have any that you'd like me to demonstrate or review, then please let me know in the comments. I do plan on routinely reviewing mods as new and interesting mods come out for the game. But that is it for this video. If you have enjoyed, then remember to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you've got any tips, tricks or things you'd like me to do, then feel free to leave a comment. But all that's left to say is, hope to see you in the next one. And until then, catch you later. Cheers all. Bye bye.